So guys, in this video, I'm going to tell you guys how to train your woman to always be at her best behavior. Now, this might sound manipulative or evil to an extent, but this is how you must do it for a woman that you call a girlfriend to always be at her best behavior. Because it makes no sense. It makes no sense that you have a girlfriend who is always misbehaving, who is always doing things her own way. And when a woman is doing things her own way, that means you are powerless. That means you are useless. That means you can't even control your woman. And when you're a man who cannot control your woman, that means your woman will be a loose cannon. And of course, at some point, you will regret ever meeting her. So you must always be in that position where you can control your woman and, of course, be the leader in that relationship. Now, of course, let me use this scenario. Let me assume you have a dog named Chris. The name of this dog is Chris. Now you bought this dog newly. You've not trained the dog. You've not, you know, made the dog to know when to stop. For example, if the dog is doing something, you tell the dog stop, and the dog will stop. The dog have not learnt all those things. You've not trained the dog to understand commands, to understand structure, to understand certain keywords that whenever she hears, she will stop whatever she's doing and be at her best behavior. Now let's assume you bought this dog, Chris. You've not trained the dog, and every single day, what this dog goes around doing in your house is running everywhere, tearing all the foams, uh, going to the pots, pouring the food you have inside your pots, going to the kitchen, scattering everywhere, running around the whole neighborhood, causing problems everywhere. And when you try to control the dog the dog will even do worse. The dog will, to an extent, the dog will even try to attack you, the owner. Now, if one day you now buy an electric fence and put within a certain area in your house where the dog usually goes to scatter everything, and the dog goes there one day and it shocks him or her. Assuming the dog is a female, the electric fence shocks the dog. She tries to go again to that place. The thing shocks her again. Probably that place she wants to go into is where you keep your provisions. So she wants to go there and eat it and tear it and eat it. Now she goes there again, it shocks her. In her mind, she will know that, okay, I'm not meant to pass this boundary. This is going to be a boundary that I'm not allowed into. Now, from that day onwards, it will register into that dog's brain that, see, I'm not meant to pass into this area. I'm not meant to cross these limits. This is the same thing with women. When it comes to dealing with women, the easiest way to keep them in check, the easiest way to keep them at their best behavior is by creating an electric fence. Now, you cannot create an electric fence for a woman, realistically, but you can do that by setting boundaries, by setting rules and regulation that if she doesn't obey, you will simply walk out. Now, how can you set these rules that will make that woman to be trained psychologically, subconsciously, to always be at her best behavior? The first thing you must do is you must set clear boundaries. You must make a woman know the things you can tolerate and what you cannot tolerate. And you have to start doing this thing from the onset. For example, the girl you just started dating, she disrespects you. And instead of you tell her, see, babe, don't try this rubbish again. I don't like being disrespected. Or you simply take away your attention from her. Now, instead of you to do this, either of these two things, you simply tolerate her. You simply laugh when she's disrespecting you, when she's shouting at you, when she's talking to other men. You simply close your mouth. Instead of you to walk away from her. What you know you cannot tolerate from a woman from the onset, try as much as possible to make it clear to her. Don't try to pretend. For example, you hate your woman talking to other women, other men, and she starts talking to other men at the beginning of that relationship, and you tolerate it, only for you to, after some months, start telling her, why are you talking to men? The girl will be like, I've been talking to men since we met. What's not a big deal about it? So this is why you must always make your rules and regulation known from the onset. Or for example, the girl, two of you plan to go out on a date, and the girl cancels, and you tolerate it. She tells you I was busy. She now tells you let's do it tomorrow, and you foolishly accept. The girl will start seeing you as a fool. If the girl cancels, and she tries to, reschedule, tell her, okay, fine and good, but I don't like the fact that you cancelled without informing me earlier. Therefore, I'm not going to be free tomorrow. Of course, you should tell her that you will not be free tomorrow because you must have something else you planned for the next day. Because if you don't tell her that you'll be busy the next day, she'll see you as someone who has all the time in the world. And that is when she will not start playing with you. Because she'll see you as a guy who doesn't have anything going on in his life. Or, for example, the girl insults you in public, and instead of you to walk away from her and take away your attention from her, you try to apologize, even when she was the one that disrespected you in public. When you do all these things, the woman will see you as someone who doesn't have any boundaries, who doesn't have any self-respect for himself. This is why, as a man, he must set boundaries, clear boundaries. The next thing you must do to make a woman to be trained at always being at her best behavior towards you is you must lead with emotional control. One of the worst things you guys can show a woman is emotions, because a woman will always try to test you. For example, she will pretend that she's talking to another guy on the phone, and you confront her and you start shouting, "Why are you talking to this guy? Why are you talking to these guys? What have I not done for you? Do you want to leave me?" When you start doing all these things, showing your emotions to a woman, her respect, her attraction for you will start going down. As a man, you always have to treat everything you are doing with a woman calmly. The more indifferent you are to a woman's shenanigans, the better for you. Because in her mind, she will always be wondering, what is this guy's plan? Why doesn't he show me emotions? She did something to you, and instead of you to react emotionally, you simply ignored her and took away your attention from her. One of the easiest ways to punish women, especially women who have some level of attraction for you, is by taking away attention. If they misbehave, don't even stress yourself talking to them or overreacting. Take away attention. When you take away attention, she'll be forced to start apologizing. She'll be forced to start looking for ways to patch things back with you. Now, the third thing you must do is, like I always said, don't show your emotions. But this one is also part of it too. Never argue or beg for respect. Never argue with a woman or beg her for anything. Masculine energy doesn't beg, doesn't chase for validation. If she cannot respect you, your absence will teach her more than your words can ever do. You are with this girl. She talks to you anyhow. She disrespects you. She says things you don't like. Now you're trying to tell her, babe, why can't you respect me? Or babe, please respect me. That is you being foolish. You simply walk away. If a woman cannot respect you, you walk away. You always have to be with a woman who can respect you. And respect is not something you can just demand. It's something that is given to you subconsciously. If a woman cannot give you respect, you don't demand for it, because even if you demand for it, she will not give it to you. Some women are naturally disrespectful. So if that woman is kind of woman who is like this, you simply take a walk. When you take a walk, she will know that, okay, this is the kind of guy who doesn't tolerate being disrespected. This is the kind of guy who doesn't have time to argue. Probably the guys she has been with in the past, these guys used to beg her for respect, used to beg her for everything. So therefore, you have to show her that you're not the kind of man who will beg her for respect. If you cannot respect me, I simply walk away and get myself a girl who can adore me and respect me. The next thing you have to do is you must reward good behavior. If a woman is behaving well, you reward her. You buy for her things. You spend on her. You spoil her. Personally, I don't have a problem with spoiling my woman. But the requirement for me to spoil you is you must always behave well. For example, this girl always cooks for me. This girl is always, respecting me. This girl is always uplifting my spirit. This girl is always appreciating every little thing I do for her. Of course, I will do more because she's at her best behavior. But assuming this girl misbehaves tomorrow, what do? I take away my attention, because you have to learn to reward good behavior and punish bad behavior. One of the easiest ways, or the only way to punish bad behavior, is by withdrawing your attention. Why, whenever she behaves well, you will reward her by buying for her nice stuff. Subconsciously, this woman will know that if I behave well, this guy will always treat me better. And before you know it, she will always behave well. This is how you train a woman to always be at her best behavior. Now, the next thing you have to do to train a woman to always treat you well, be at her best behavior, and be a good girl is maintain an abundance mindset. Even if you're afraid to lose her, Even if you like this girl so much, don't make it obvious to her. The moment a woman knows that you're afraid of losing her, that you're scared of her leaving you, that you cannot afford to lose her, she'll start misbehaving. This is how women behave. Once they know that you love them too much, that you cannot afford to do without them, they will start misbehaving. This is why no matter what, you must always maintain an abundance mentality. Have it, make it a rule in your heart and in your mind that if this girl misbehaves today, I'm going to break up with her and I'm not going to look back. I've left girls I liked so much simply because they misbehaved. And of course, I will not be there begging you to behave well. If you misbehave, I leave you because I know that it was easy for me to get you. And therefore, if it was easy for me to get you, I will also get other girls very easily. If you can get one girl, then you can, of course, get 10 girls. This is how life works. If you can get one girl, you can get 10 girls. Because obviously, what made her to like you will also make these other girls to like you. So there's no big deal about it. You must always maintain an abundance mindset. If she misbehaves, you take a walk. Now, the next thing you must do to always make her to be at her best behavior is focus on your mission. Be a man on purpose. A woman will fall in line with a man who's clearly going somewhere in life. That's the truth. One of the easiest ways to keep these women in check is to make them know that you are a guy who is on a mission, and a guy who has a brighter future. If a woman knows that in the next 5 years you'll be at a higher place than you are currently, she will want to be a part of that future. And she will always behave well. At times, the reason why most women behave badly towards you guys is because they've seen that you're a low life. They've seen that you're a guy who has no future. They've seen that you're a guy who is practically going nowhere. And of course, they see you as someone they can misbehave around, mistreat, and take for granted because they've seen that you're useless or you're going to be useless in life. So you have to always be a man on a mission, a man who is going somewhere big in life. And women will always be at their best behavior. Trust me, that is one of the easiest ways to keep these girls in line.